Hi everyone, Julie here. So today I wanted to talk to you about speaking, the final skill. And so I have quite a lot to say about this topic. So first, I really know, truly, I know how it feels to know a lot of words and you've studied the grammar for a while, but you still can't freaking speak the language. Like I really understand. And that's why I really want to encourage you, especially if you're still a beginner in your target language, speak from the very first day, even if it's just going on Tandem or Hello Talk and just saying, hello, my name is, I'm from whatever, I work as whatever, even if it's those very, very simple sentences, try it from the very first day that you're studying, especially if you study on your own, honestly, because the longer you kind of put it off, the bigger it gets in your mind and the harder it is to start. And that's also a thing. Starting a conversation, kind of diving in, is always the hardest. Once you're in it, once you're in that conversation, once you're chatting with someone, you won't even remember that you're nervous. It's really getting started that is so freaking, terrifying. But once you're in it, it's like, okay, why was I even nervous in the first place? So push yourself for that first sentence. Okay, don't think about the whole conversation that you might or might not have with that person, but like think about the first sentence, saying hello, how are you? You know, and I promise you, once you've said it out loud, you're going to feel so much better already. Now, another thing you can do when it comes to practicing speaking is to find people who are at the same level as you, meaning either people who are learning your language or languages, or people who are also learning the same target language. So, for example, I'm French, so I'm learning German. I could practice with other French people who are learning German. It doesn't really matter if they're not natives. I'm not going to get my pronunciation and kind of oral input from them. I'm just practicing conversation with them, so that's okay. And it might even be a little bit easier because they have the same accent as me, so that also good. Or find a German speaker who is learning French, and that kind of language partnership is good because it takes away the pressure of you, the foreigner, talking to a native who knows the language and you know next to nothing, or the pressure of talking to a very strict teacher in a strict setting. It really takes away all of that. So, if you can find, and that's what I tell my students as well when we start, I tell them, I'm also a language learner. This is not I'm an expert on French language and I'm going to make you feel bad for not knowing things. Like, no. It's very important for me to tell them that, we are both learners. We're like, there needs to be solidarity between us. And like, I'm not going to judge you. So, finding these people who are not going to judge you because they are on the same freaking boat, I think is very good to relax a little bit. And yeah, then I think that, you only get good at speaking by speaking. Really. Focus on conveying meaning. Don't get stuck on the grammar too much. It doesn't matter if your syntax is not perfect or if your conjugation is not perfect. Get started and you will still convey the meaning with those keywords, the verbs, the complements, and that's fine. For example, when this is ridiculous. When I was in Jordan, I could not be bothered to learn the past tenses because in Arabic, because they're freaking difficult. And so I would tell people when they ask me, like, oh, what did you do yesterday? Or like, where were you when I would come back to my hostel? Oh, where did you go? I would say like this morning I go to the shop, meaning I went to the shop, right? Or like yesterday I see a movie, like, and people would understand. They understood me perfectly. Of course, it wasn't correct. And sometimes some people would give me the actual verb in the past tense, but it's fine. It still got me speaking and having these conversations with people and having fun with it. So don't worry about making mistakes or not having perfect grammar. You're better off making wonky, funky sentences at first, but practicing that speaking and those conversations and this kind of tennis game, where you say something and then you have to immediately switch back to understanding what the person is saying and then again to speaking, like practice that as early on as possible with the worst grammar possible. It doesn't matter, but practice that, because the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. All right, that's it for today. I hope that wasn't too cheesy again. All right, I'll see you very soon for more language learning tips. Bye.